Hello, everyone.
Hello.
Hello. Welcome, everybody. We will get started in just a minute here, waiting for a few more of the cohort to arrive. Language interpretation is going. Thank you, Joelle and Patrick, our
Thank
interpreters.
you, Fabiana. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you all for joining. So please select your interpretation language and we'll get started in just a moment. Okay, welcome everyone. This session today will be focused on travel to our event in Accra. I'll be taking you through some information about travel, and then Samuel and Victor will be taking you through a bit more of the detailed agenda, and then there will be time for your questions. Throughout the presentation, we're not going to take questions live during the presentation, but please put your questions in the chat or in the Q&A so we can get to them, or write them down so we can get to them during the live question and answer. And we'll go from there. Just a note that I need to leave on the 30-minute mark and Samuel and Victor take over. So if there's any questions that you have, they'll do their best to answer. But if it's about travel, I've been coordinating most of the travel. So you can also message me, but they'll take care of passing on any questions to me as well. But I will go ahead and get us started here. I'm going to share my screen and we will share the recording of this session and all of this, the PowerPoint. So do not worry about remembering absolutely everything, but feel free to write down any important notes. Give me just a moment. All right. And here we go. Alrighty. Okay, so today, as I said, we are talking about travel to Accra for the Land Accelerator Bootcamp. There we go. The contents of today's presentation will go through flights and travel requirements, some different departure and arrival info, the hotel, what to do in case of travel issues, the packing list, about your stipend, and then what to expect, the agenda, all of that, and then we'll have question and answer. So for flights, everyone should have now received their flight itineraries. I know there are 2 participants that have not already. We've been in touch. You know your situation, so you'll have your itineraries as soon as we are able to book. We recommend that you print your itinerary to bring with you. Also have it digitally on your phone, but it's nice to have a hard copy in case of need. When you get to the airport, all you have to do is go to the airline desk and you can get your boarding passes there, check your bags. Very important is that please save your boarding passes. The actual ticket, we'll be collecting those as we use those as proof when you receive your travel stipends. So please just hang on to those boarding passes, put them in a safe place to give to us in Ghana. A little bit of information of how to read your itinerary. This has all of your flight information, so please actually read it carefully. Make sure you know your flight times. You can use the flight number. It's listed here at the travel summary at the top of your itinerary. There's a flight number. Using that number, you can Google, you can confirm that your flight is on time. You can check for flight updates. So this is your flight number. And then there's also a code next to it. This is the airline confirmation code. So if you go to the airline that you're flying with, whether that's Kenya Airways, Rwanda Air, whatever it may be, and you enter this airline confirmation code and usually your last name or your date of birth, it'll ask you for, then you can view all your flight information. And if you need to modify anything, if you have like, I don't know, a frequent flyer account or something to add, all of that can be done on the airline website. You can probably also sign up for alerts on your flight by going to the airline website and using this code to check on your flight. So those are the two numbers that you have here. They're not labeled, so we wanted to clarify what those are. For visas, most of you in this group are able to enter Ghana visa-free. We are preparing visas for our participants from the DRC, from Madagascar, and from the US. Everyone else, you are able to enter visa-free. And for all of the layovers that are planned on all of your routes, there's no transit visas needed. No one needs to leave the airport, so should be good to go there. You will all be receiving an official invitation letter. I'll be sending those out later today or tomorrow morning. So this email, it's signed by Eric Larte. He's our manager of the Ghana Cocoa Belt. He lives in Ghana, so the letter is coming from him. This is just your official invite. Please print this out as well. In case of any issue, then you have sort of your official invite letter to show why you are traveling to Ghana. Other requirements, please do not forget your passport. This seems very simple, but it has happened. Make sure you have your passport. Vaccinations that are required to enter Ghana are yellow fever and COVID-19. Please bring the proof of vaccination for both of those. You may be required to show them when you're entering, so it's good to have those on hand. Now, information about when you depart. As you would with any flight, please arrive to the airport at least 2 hours early. Usually 3 is recommended. It depends on your airport. Like I said, you'll just go to the airline ticket counter to get your boarding pass. You all have a checked bag included in your ticket. If you're able to travel with carry-on only, this lessens the chance of losing baggage. We cannot cover costs if your baggage is lost by the airline, but you are welcome to check a bag. This generally, by and large, is not an issue, but there's always a risk when you check a bag that it could be lost. It's happened to me. It's not pleasant, but it's okay. When you arrive in Accra, the transportation from the airport to the hotel is provided to you. You're going to go through immigration and customs, get your checks, get your passport checked, and then when you exit, you're going to look for Elisa Hotel. They'll have a sign, and there's a booth for this hotel. This is our hotel for the event, and they're providing the transportation from the airport to the hotel for you. Many of you are arriving on the same flights, so definitely look out for each other when you're leaving, and definitely when you're leaving for the hotel, make sure everyone that you recognize from the group is on that shuttle with you. But in case of any issue, just go to that Elisa Hotel booth and they'll make sure that you arrive where you need to go. Like I said, the hotel is the Elisa Hotel Northridge. Here's the address. Here's the phone number of the hotel. Note down this hotel name and address. Again, just in case you're asked where you're staying, this is where you're staying for the duration of your stay. In case of any travel issues, if you missed your flight, if your flight is canceled, your flight is overbooked and they're saying that you can't get on it, you go to the ticket counter and they say your reservation doesn't exist. These are all issues that we've seen, and these are all issues we've resolved. First thing you're going to try to do is speak to whoever you're speaking to. Speak to the airline agent, speak to the airport agent, the border agent. Try to resolve the issue yourself. Usually that works. Small issues happen, and usually you can resolve it yourself. If that's not working, please send a WhatsApp message to myself and Victor so that we can help you. We have a great travel agency that we work with to book your flights, and they're able to resolve most issues. We've always been able to get everyone where they need to go. We always find a solution, so please just be in touch and stay calm in case of any problems. What to bring to the event. You can definitely bring product samples. We love to see these. These are great to have for demo day. We'll have a table for you to set up your different products, and especially for our networking times, it's great to have these. Please do not bring anything that is alive or that was recently alive, like fresh produce, other fresh products, anything sort of fresh and unprocessed. This is not allowed in general for international travel. Please do not bring live insects. We've had this, it did not go well. Please don't bring anything flammable or combustible. So I know we have a cook stove company. Stoves themselves are okay, but the fuel for them are generally not okay to travel with. In case of any doubt, please research sort of international airline regulations. You can also research what is allowed to be brought into Ghana. Also, if you have any doubt, you can reach out to us, but please sort of look up your particular situation if you're not sure if you're able to bring things. You should bring business cards. If you have any other print materials, about your products, about your company, brochures. Feel free to bring those as well for demo day. Definitely bring a laptop if you can, and then all your clothing, personal items that you'll need for the week. The dress code for the event, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday are trainings. So this is just our group trainers. Business casual is what we tend to say for the dress code. Professional, but comfortable to you. Thursday is our demo day. The demo day is in the afternoon and evening, so you don't have to wear this the whole day necessarily, but you're gonna want to wear either something business formal, or some people choose to go with something that's company branded. If you have like a company t-shirt or polo shirt, we really just want you to sort of look good, feel good, be ready to pitch your company. So whatever that means to you, that's what you should wear. And then Friday, we'll be having a field visit. So you want to be comfortable, closed-toed shoes. We will be outside. So please be ready for that on Friday. Other travel info, in case you need it, outlets are type D and G, 230 volt, pretty standard. The weather is expected to be between 25 and 29 Celsius. Rain is possible during the week. We'll mostly be inside. If it's raining on our field visit day, we'll do our best to keep everyone dry, but just be aware of that. The local currency is a Ghanaian cedi. I'll talk about this in a moment, but you'll all receive a $250 USD stipend during the week, but bringing some cash to exchange, a credit card that works internationally, or a bank card that you can use to retrieve money at an ATM, or if you're able to get cedi in advance, that's recommended just to have some cash on hand. About the travel stipend. So all top 16 will receive a $250 travel stipend. That is one per company. Just like the flights and the hotels, we can sponsor one participant per company. So if your company does have multiple participants, you'll still only get one travel stipend. The way we calculated the stipend was to help cover any meals that are not catered by the event, as well as your local transportation between home and the airport. So we can't cover any extra transportation costs, any other costs that are incurred. Everything is included in this $250. Anything outside $250 is your cost. You do not need to provide receipts, only your boarding pass from your flight. That's all we'll collect for the stipend payment. And it'll be paid to you in US cash in Accra. You can change this, or you can keep it in USD and take it with you. And in general, in case of any doubt throughout your trip, during the event, as you're preparing for the trip, just ask. Our team is here to support you. We're excited to meet you. And that covers our travel section. I think I'll pause there and answer any questions on travel, and then I'll pass it over to Victor and Samuel to cover the agenda. So if you have any questions about agenda, about the training itself, please hold those questions, but I'm happy to take any questions now about travel. Baggage requirement. So let me know if this is not your question, but you get one, in some cases, 2 checked bags. So if you can bring that much, we recommend you don't bring 2 bags. But you can also travel with carry-on only. If Joanne, if I haven't answered your question, please feel free to come off of mute and ask. I'm not sure if that was your question.
Hello, yes, Fabiana. I'm asking the quantity in kilograms for the 2 bags.
Oh,
Do you have two check-in bags and 1 carry-on, or what's the? Okay.
I think it's the standard sort of 22, 23 kilogram. I forget the exact number. You can check your airline website for their checked bag requirement. That's what I'd recommend. But I think generally it's that 22 kilogram limit.
Okay, thank you.
And maybe just to add is that in the ticket, the itinerary that you were sent by Fabiana, I see it says that your baggage allowance is 2 pieces. So maybe just check how many in total should come in terms of kilograms. But ideally, you should be able to check in two bags. So just make sure you check in terms of the kilograms. I'm not very sure. Thank you.
Thanks, Victor. Any other questions? Reminder also, if you're someone who indicated that you're staying longer past the 19th of October in Ghana. You'll still be checking out from the hotel on the 19th with everyone, and then sort of up to you to arrange your accommodations and take your trip from there, and then get to the airport for your return. We will be providing for everyone who is leaving on the 19th, there'll be the same shuttle from the hotel to the airport in Accra. Any other questions? Quickly. Absolutely. Yes. So Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday is business casual. So these will be training days. You'll be, sitting with the cohort and receiving training most of the day. So casual, professional, but casual clothing is for those days. Thursday afternoon and evening is our demo day where you'll be pitching on stage and pitching your company. So we want you to wear something a bit more formal, but whatever, is business formal to you. Some people choose to wear company t-shirts. That's not as formal, but that's okay too, because it sort of promotes your company. So whatever you want to wear to pitch, that's for Thursday. And then Friday is field visit. So we will be outside, so you want to wear something appropriate for the outdoors.
Fabiana. Yeah. Hi everyone. Good to see you. Yeah, looking forward to those questions. If you have any question, there's no right or wrong question. There's no silly question. Just ask even the basic, because we want to make sure that you're comfortable, even as you travel to Ghana. Like, one of the questions I wanted to ask is, how is Ghana in terms of environment? I know you have mentioned there the degrees, but generally, how is it? Is it close to something fun? I'll be curious. I know there's somebody who is going to remain there for 2 days and will be curious to know this. But yeah, my experience in Ghana last time I went there, and especially this specific hotel will be, it has a very nice outdoor for evening. So if you want to chill, that would be a very nice place to wear that casual wear. And I'm also aware it's not far from the beach. It's again not so close, but you can always take either a taxi and you can rush there to the beach whenever you're free. So who knows, maybe you need that shot for for those evening. Yeah, as much as it will be a training session, as much as it will be an intense week, equally also take that opportunity to also pause and reflect and look back at your company. And certainly you need a serene environment, and we'll definitely be able to give you time to do that. Yeah, I wanted to mention that. So no silly question. Ask any details. Yeah, thanks.
Thanks, Samuel. Yeah, great details. I'm excited. Maybe I will go ahead and present 2 more slides sort of about what to expect. And then Samuel, I'll pass it to you to go through more of the training and the agenda and what to expect there. But please continue to put your questions in the chat. All right. Okay, so just to go through what is and is not covered by the program in terms of costs, what we are providing to you is your flight and your hotel, one per company. What for flight, hotel room, I've already discussed this with you if you have 2 people, but just to reiterate, we'll provide 1 hotel room for 2 people if you choose to share. If you want an extra hotel room, then that is at your company's cost. Breakfast is provided at the hotel, so every morning that you're at the hotel, there will be a hotel breakfast. Lunch will be provided as part of the conference on Monday to Friday. Thursday evening after demo day, we'll have a cocktail hour for networking with all the attendees and celebrating you as a cohort. We're providing the full week of training, mentorship, the demo day event, and your field visit. We're providing the $250 stipend. That's one per company. And if you require a visa, we're arranging that for you. What is not provided by the program are dinners and local transportation, both from your home to the airport and any sort of local travel around the city that you could do in Accra, and any other costs or incidentals. We're providing that stipend to cover these extra costs, but we cannot provide anything else outside of that. And then just what to expect in terms of the hotel. Check-in, the standard for the hotel is 3 p.m. For check-in on the day of your arrival. If you're arriving earlier, your room may or may not be ready, so that will just be a case-by-case basis with the hotel if you're arriving a bit earlier. Check out is at noon the day of your departure. I know many of you, including myself, are leaving later in the evening. So you do have to leave your room by noon, but you're able to store your bags with the front desk, with the concierge, until it's time to leave for the airport. So you don't have to worry about staying with your things. You can go out into the city and then come back to the hotel in time to catch the shuttle for your flight. I think there's a couple of you that are sort of arriving in the middle of the night or very like 3 a.m. On the 13th of October. If that's the case, if you're arriving during the night, we've booked you an extra night so that when you arrive, it'll be ready for your arrival. You don't have to wait until check-in that day. That would be a little cruel. And like I said, breakfast is provided daily. Okay, here we are to training. I'm just gonna check the chat and see if we have any other questions. Yes. So I see a question about snacks from time to time. That's actually covered here, I think, in the training days, yes. But each day we have a morning and afternoon tea break and then a lunch break. So the tea breaks are generally pretty substantial. There's food. And if you require anything outside of that, that's definitely something we can arrange with the hotel. You're welcome to also bring some snacks or bring things to have throughout the day. All right. Any other questions on that before we go to training and agenda? All right. I think, Samuel, I think if you could share your screen for this part of the presentation, I'm going to jump off in a few minutes.
Yeah, sounds good. Happy to share, and hopefully you can be able to see my slides. Okay, there you
Visible, thanks.
go. Yeah, thanks so much, Fabiana, for taking us through what to expect from a logistical point of view, to even what to find in Ghana. And just a quick recap is that you have said that everybody by now they have their tickets ready. Certainly for those who need visa, we'll be able to facilitate that. In the invitation letter will be going out to everyone, and they are free to actually copy that. And also the stipend of 250 to one person per company, which will be able to take care of the costs that we are not able. I also got to hear that, yeah, people can forget their passport if they want. Yeah, so passport is key. You can decide not to have anything else, but make sure that you have your transport. And of course, we have talked about the dress code and what to expect. So the assumption is that by now, all of us now we are in Ghana, and in the next slides, I'll be taking you through what to expect in terms of the core reason of why we are actually going to Ghana. And just as I had started to say, we want to make sure that it's a fun engagement with a lot of learning, with a lot of networking, with a lot of friendship. We want to make friends during this event. So I'll share with you what to expect, even as we build on those expectation, or rather objective. So we are going to start on Monday through to Friday, and Monday to Thursday we are saying is more of trainings, and trainings will actually start at 9 a.m. daily. So make sure that you have your breakfast ready at 9 a.m. All of us, we are seated, ready for kickoff. We will get volunteers each day to make sure that we are prompt on time. We are cognizant of the fact that with us, there are people who speak very well in French, those who speak very well in English, and in some instances, we might need interpretation. So interpreters will be there with the headsets available throughout the event. In some instances, you might want to have maybe one-on-one with a colleague who doesn't understand the language you speak. We are actually going to make sure that the same interpreters can actually come where you are, be it during break time, and they can actually ensure that there is a smooth conversation. The other one is we will have brief morning and afternoon tea breaks and a longer lunch break daily. Fabiana did mention about that. Training session will vary between lecture and interactive sessions, so please expect a lot of interactive sessions. We'll have outdoor sessions. We're actually going to have practical. We'll have those icebreakers that act as training modalities. So it will be interesting. The other one is that we are going to have small group pitch practice session, which will occur at the end of the training daily. I'm going to share about that. The other one is one-on-one mentorship will occur during afternoons and evenings daily. So we have a lineup of mentors. I'm going to tell you who they are and also share on the modalities of how this is actually going to work. The other one is days will be long and packed with information. So ensure you are resting and taking time. You need to maximize your learning. And I think this is where I said, as much as you're coming, make sure that your focus is there. Try to rest, try to forget the worries that you might have right now and just focus on why you are there. We will ensure that we provide an opportunity so that you can be able to learn with minimal disruption. We did mention that we have training Monday to Thursday morning, but in the afternoon of Thursday, we're actually going to have a demo day. So here we provide an opportunity for you to be able to interact with investors, but also interact with other partners. So we have physical partners who will join us from Ghana. We are actually building on that list as we speak. And we are actually expecting around 100 people to join us. But beside that, we'll also have online participants who will be joining us through via Zoom. And in case you have somebody you'd like us to invite, feel free to share the names with us. Alternatively, we are going to share with you the Zoom so that you can be able to share with them. So how the demo day will be is we will give you an opportunity to pitch. In this case, it is going to be time bound. During our mentorship session, we have seen you guys go even up to 7-10 minutes, but we will limit that to 2 to 3 minutes. And we are not going to use slides. We actually only to allow you to tell a story. Don't be frightened. We are going to train you on how to actually do that. So from day one, we will learn back. So maybe right now, what you could try to do is to start thinking about a story that you can relate your business with, and especially from the problem statement all the way to your solution. So start thinking, and this story could be, you remember when Luni was training, you remember Simbuko, the Sacco platform. This guy talked about the mom facing challenges. So we want you to start thinking personalized story that you like to use to actually tell your story. If you go to our website, landacxata.com, I want to believe, you should be able to maybe see past events and see how we actually did it. So the setup is auditorium, very nice setup there at Lisa Hotel. Yeah, so after all that, we'll give you an opportunity to network with these enterprises. So how we do it is we'll make sure that each of you has a table, and these partners can actually go around, come network with you. But after that, we'll open it up for cocktail so that we also take a few drinks here and there and we enjoy. Good. After that, on Friday, we are going to have a field visit. We are confirming this. We have already proposed companies that we are going to visit, a tree nursery, but also some few plantations, some restoration best practices area. So we will confirm this as we proceed. It's likely going to be a full day out as a group, and we are going to provide lunch. The other one is organized program will conclude after the field visit. And then Friday evening is for all of us to enjoy with the fellow cohorts and new members. You may want to go maybe buy a kitenge. So we'll give you that opportunity to go and shop. And for some of the people to go and maybe have a drink or two. So there you go. Now maybe I could take you through the agenda for the session. So can you still see my screen? Can you see the agenda, or you're seeing a different screen?
Yes.
Can see the agenda.
Okay, perfect. I will not repeat this. This is what
Maybe Samuel, what you can do is that you can zoom in a bit.
Okay, I zoom in. Huh? Okay, where did we used to do that? Okay, I think it's here. Tell me whether you can see it. Is that okay?
Yeah.
Continue.
Okay.
I'll
Maybe
leave
just
another.
once more. Yeah.
Is that okay?
That's okay from my side, Samuel.
For the rest, is that okay?
Yeah, but you can go up to 100 at least.
Okay, is that good?
Okay, this is better.
Okay. And maybe Victor, if it's okay, or Celestine, feel free to share the same on the chat, a link to on the chat so that they can be able to follow from their screens. Good. I think I have shared about this, what will actually be happening. So allow me to deep dive to the real content. And before I do that, good to mention that this agenda is not ours, but rather it's yours. It is you who spoke to this agenda, because what happened was, and Paminas is here and Will, I want to believe you did actually have a session where we were actually identifying what are some of the gaps that you are actually facing. And yeah. Sorry guys. Yeah, sorry guys. Yeah, so it's from that information that you gave Paminas and Will, we were able to analyze it and we were able to identify some of the gaps. We cannot address all of them. There were quite a number. I think we had a list of close to 30, but we narrowed down to common areas that you guys proposed. And those areas are actually reflected in this program. So on Monday, as I said, we start at 9. We are going to have welcoming session. So we are going to hear from our WRI Ghana leadership. We are actually going to give an opportunity to Baka Fund, who are our partner for this program. We'll have some of us join. The African Union, who are also part of the program, will also be joining and they will give some remarks. And we are likely going to have a recorded version of speech from our Africa leadership team. After that, we'll have, as I said, coffee breaks. And then in terms of the training content, we are keen to continue with the conversation that you already started with Kirenya around business model. You remember the session on value proposition. So we want to scale that and build from where we left. So Kirenya Gedenji will be coming. He's from World International. And then in the afternoon, we are going to have a session around business strategy. We realize most of the businesses have business plans, even though what we received was people were not confident of those business plans. But we, from where we sit, we realize business plans require a lot of time, and perhaps this is something that we can do post-training support. But we are actually going to have a conversation around business strategy, so preparing your business to scale. And Kirenya Gedenji will actually be helping us. Once we are through, between 4 and 5:30, that's 1.5 hours, we are going to provide with you the logistic and formula of upcoming pitch session. This is for the demo day. And then after that, we are going to allow you to go into small groups for pitch practice. And then if time allows, we'll actually have 15 minutes presentation by Land Exeter on the overview. So this, you remember I talked about personalized story. So we will be able to take you through how you can actually come up with that story. And we'll allow you to go into small groups to start formulating that story. What I have witnessed is sometimes the first story is not always what you'll pitch, yeah? So every day this story will keep on changing. There's somebody who will talk about a farmer who was selling sand, and then that one was not working. They decided to start planting mangoes. In the process, mango did well, and today they are rich. They are selling mangoes to you. Somebody else will talk about how they were passionate about bees, and from there they actually ventured into honey. So personalized story. So we will share with you how to go about that. And then between 5:30 and 6:30, which is 1 hour, this is going to be free time, but at the same time, it's going to be an office hour. And the question is, what is an office hour? So an office hour is an opportunity for you to have one-on-one with a mentor. We will have many of us present, about 6 or 7 of us, including the trainers, and we want to have those one-on-one. So those one-on-ones could be discussion on different stuff, could be about your business, could be about an opportunity, could be about an issue you're facing, could be about program overview, anything that you like to discuss with, let's call them internal mentors in this case. So we have actually seen many people use these office hours to actually refine their story, to refine their pitch pitch deck as well. So it's going to be 1 hour. It takes a format of an informal session. So I could decide I'll be meeting my team at the pool area. I could decide I'll meet my team in the bar area. I could decide that I'm going to meet whoever I'm meeting in the hall. Yeah, so you will agree. Not everybody will have an office hour. So the instances where majority, like half, will be free. So you'll be allowed to just go and do your own stuff. And maybe after that, plan how you go for your dinner. That is Monday. Tuesday, here we come. The theme is Believe It to See It, planning for your success. We'll continue with the business strategy. This is for Kenya. And then after coffee, we are going to have financing options. So here we'll be looking at what is a grant, loan. We'll be defining what is equity, what is concessional loan, blended finance. So these are the financing options. And how do you actually select what works? So Baka Fund, we take us through, and I know they already started about this conversation when we talked about realities of funding. And then after that, there was a lot of requests on financial modeling and cash flow management. So this is something else we'll be able to offer. There are templates that exist, and there could be even a practical session where you actually do financial modeling. Why is this important? You remember where people get to pitch, and the expectation is you'll be able to show your future projections. Yeah. So how do you build? What are those numbers? How do you build on that? So we'll be able to provide you with templates and mechanism on how you can actually build that. The other one is there was a high demand in terms of investment memo. So here is where we prepare an investment memo that you can actually share with the funder. It is here that we'll be able to share with you what to look out when engaging the investors. You even have a say yourself. So what are those things that are the bare minimum for you when it comes to engaging an investor? So Baka Fund will take us through and also help us to really work on our investment memo. This session, work session that is on question mark, is to build on maybe financial investment memo. Baka Fund, we are having a call with Baka Fund, finalize on this. So do expect we feel, but this will be mainly something that is very practical. Maybe to start writing down your investment memo or something. And then as usual, we are going to have pitch practice in small groups. So we are actually going to group you from day one, and you can actually go in those small groups and you practice. Remember the personal story? This is what we'll actually be doing. And then we are going to have free time for most of you, but for others, they're actually going to be meeting the internal mentors for what is called an office hour. Interesting, still packed agenda. Wednesday, here we come. So the theme is building marketable value chains for growth. We start exactly at 9. So we'll have a nice breaker and a recap. And then after that, we are going to have a discussion around investment readiness support. So prepare yourself to unlock investment. What do you need? So Baka Fund will be able to share with us. And then after coffee break, we are going to have a session around proposal writing techniques. What are the best practices? So we look at Terra Fund, for example, which is our internal fund. We'll be able to share with you some of the best practices. And also Baka Fund will be able to share their process on how they actually invest and what they are looking at. And then after lunch, we are going to have a workshop, how to remain competitive in the market, focus on marketing strategy. Yeah, so there was a high demand on marketing. People have a lot of questions around this and they need support. So we are actually going to have Pamina's Karaoke, who has been our colleague in this cohort, working closely with you on your pitch deck. So he will be taking us through market and I don't know whether Paminas, you're here. Maybe you could speak about these two work stream areas, what we are likely going to see. Paminas, I don't know whether you're here. And I know you're in the field, just in case you're not in a position to talk. Yeah.
Hi, Sami, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Yeah, I'm around there, but I'm on the way. So maybe you can just give a brief for me, because I know it will be a bit disruptive from the noise in my background.
Okay, no problem.
Yeah, but I'm following. Yeah.
Yeah, so here we'll be looking more of marketing strategy. We'll be looking at aspect around branding, packaging, looking at who are your competitors and what is the competitive advantage. And on this case, Paminas was keen to look at from a social point of view. I'm missing the name he was actually using, but I think it's more of a healthy kind of like competition. Here you're dealing with an environmental product. So how do you package that to actually attract not sympathy, but to attract interest for people to actually buy your product? So he's actually going to take us through that, and that session will continue to up to 4. Yeah, so we look forward to that one. I know there'll be a lot of interactive session. There'll be a lot of practicability aspect. Yeah, so that one is there. And then again, 4 to 5:30 pitch practice, and then free time and office hours. Thursday, here we come. So we are saying is put a bow on it. This is the demo day. We start with icebreaker recap at 9. And then here is where we now get a bit technical. And now the fact that all of us, one thing we have in common is we are working in the restoration space. So we'll be having a session on monitoring, reporting, and verification. So all you need to understand, restoration monitoring and verification. We have put a concept in the note there with different options. So we are going to have our WRI monitoring team take us through this. And this will include aspect of how do you monitor your socioeconomic indicators like jobs, livelihoods, gender, and all that. But even getting deeper to look at your planting trees. So how are you able to actually monitor that? We have tools. We have satellite tools that you can actually use. We'll share with you how do you come up with a site area, how do you create boundaries and polygons, so how do you use GIS, all those, how do you use, for example, geotagged pictures to be able to communicate about the project area that you're implementing. So it's a bit technical, but we'll be able to provide you with details that you need to understand, and perhaps the technical aspect that can actually come later. This one is very key and links very well with the investments, because nowadays what we have seen is that investors as well are looking at this monitoring aspect. How do you ensure that whatever you have promised them will actually be done? So we'll take you through. We were hoping that perhaps when you go to the field, we can actually do practical session like creating those polygon and mapping, but we will see. Our team will actually advise us, so they are busy preparing that content for you. The other one is we want you to get inspired by successful restoration practices in Ghana. So we are looking at successful restoration projects that have actually worked, even at those projects that have already receiving payments for the work that they are doing. So here we are looking at outcome-based, but also looking at payment for ecosystem services. So we are still confirming this. Last I checked is we have about two, Victor Celestine, correct me if I'm wrong. I think we have two successful projects that would come, and we could actually have that fireside chat. Once we are through with that, we'll go quickly for lunch. And when we come back, we are not going to go to the same room, but rather we are going to go to the auditorium. So here is where we'll give you an opportunity to maybe work with your friend, with your buddy, work as a group, to just practice your story and your pitching. And then after that, we are going to have a quick demo. So this is where you're actually going to present we are going to identify quotes and quotes judges. I don't want to call them fake judges because they provide comments, but instead these are people who will give you feedback. So it is more of a mock. So it's nothing serious, but it's just for them to make sure that you are capturing the real details that you need, but also be able to help you build your confidence to stand in front of the room and be able to make that pitch. So that's what we are going to do, and then perhaps give you a few minutes to stay alone. I've seen people speak to themselves walking. Yeah, very funny, where people are speaking to themselves, just practicing. So we will do that, but be assured we're actually going to give you some tips, but even tips on how you engage partners after that. So that's what we will do. And then from there at 3:30 to 4, we expect that the guests will start to stream in. We are going to provide them some drinks for them to take, some coffee, and this one will be shared so you could start to familiarize yourself with them. And then immediately after that, we'll get into the auditorium, ready to start. And we are going to start with a panel discussion. So here we'll be looking at entrepreneurship and restoration sector. And we are actually going to have investors in the panel. We may request one of you to be part of that panel. And we'll have a conversation for, say, 30 minutes. We are going to have opening remarks. So previously, we have seen government official, the minister, or director, or assistant minister, or head of a parastatal join us. We are working with our Ghana colleagues to confirm this. So they will give opening remarks, but also the leadership of different institutions. And then after that, we will go straight to the pitch practice. So we are going to organize how you'll be going to the stage, the 16 of you. And this time round, as we said, there are no slides. So what we are going to do is just to have a slide maybe with your company logo and a picture of your company. I think we have most of the pictures. If we need any picture, we are actually going to share with you. As you said, you'll have 2 to 3 minutes. And then once you present, we will allow you to sit down. We'll clap for you. In some instances, we have seen 1 or 2 questions, so we may want to take them, but we will agree as a team how we want to go about that. Once we are through, we are going to issue certificates to everybody. And good to mention that on this day, we are inviting top 100. These are your colleagues that you started with. They will join during this session, and somehow we are going to launch that everybody is going to receive their certificate. So we'll have this ready so that once we are through with the pitch deck, we'll just hit the button send, and immediately you receive your certificates using your emails, where you can actually download, print it, or even post it on your LinkedIn and social media and anywhere you want. So we will do that. We'll play a couple of videos in between And yeah, you'll see it's going to be fun. But for you who will be physical, we are actually going to ask our partners and guests to hand over the certificates to you. And then after that, we'll all be set for networking. As I said, we are likely going to ask you to stand on your tables, or yeah, and then the partners will go around, those who would like to speak to you. For the virtual colleagues, we are going to share with them a form where they would actually indicate who they would like to speak after. And after that, we can actually do those connections. Once we are through with that, we'll have a few bites and a few drinks. And yeah, we can celebrate a good week together and all set for Friday company visit. Yeah, so that's what we expect. Good to mention, we'll have a videographer with us. So there'll be a lot of pictures taken, and hopefully those pictures is okay to take. We'll see whether there's somewhere you'll sign so that in case we need to use those pictures, we can use them. On Friday, as I mentioned, is about field visit. The details are yet to be confirmed. So time here is tentative. In case we get a company that is far, we are likely going to start early. And then depending on where the company is, we'll see. But we intend to finish by 2:30, so that once we are back to the hotel, we can actually give you an opportunity to go and do whatever you like to do, like shopping and meeting friends. Yeah, so here the definition, what is a pitch practice session? There is a definition of office hours. We are going to add here a schedule of office hours. We are actually designing that with the team. We will also be able to update this one with a confirmed speaker so that you can be able to see who they are and their credentials. We have tried to insert a few, and of course you can be able to see who are our supporters. Yeah, so that is it from me. Not sure whether I left any detail. As you can see, is a packed agenda, an interesting one. Curious to see from the chat or how you feel about the program, but I think we still have time, so you can unmute yourself and maybe tell us about the program. Are there areas that you feel we have left out, or are there areas that you are quite excited? And if you have any concern, we are happy to take that. Otherwise, thank you so much. Let me see, I've talked much, so let me see who is here. Yeah, curious to hear from you, and my team, feel free to add anything else. Yeah. Are you here?
Yes, you covered it all, and well, I have nothing to add.
Thank you, Celestine. For the enterprises, any questions about the program? Any reaction? How do you feel about it? You can be quiet. Yes, Charles. Charles Bwambale. Charles, we can't hear you.
I hope you can hear me.
Now we can hear you.
Yes, I'm saying thank you for sharing the program with us. I'm aware this is a program that basically looks at capacity building, then showcasing what you have. I wanted to know if there is an opportunity of exhibition so that we are able to come up with enough product to exhibit in our store How is the arrangement towards that? Thank you.
Good. Thank you. Victor, are you here? Maybe you could take that one.
Yes.
Yeah, and the rest, feel free to raise your hand with questions as well, and also reaction. I want to feel, does this meet your needs, or do you feel there's something we have left? I'll be pointing out if you don't raise your hand. Yeah, Victor.
Thank you so much, Samuel, and thank you, Charles, for that question, because I was actually about to address that. Normally, what we do is that on the demo day, we normally have an area for exhibition. So as Fabiana said, we encourage you to come with your products because during the demo day, we are going to have different investors, different stakeholders in the industry. We're also going to have maybe different other different people who may be interested in your product. So we are going to offer an area maybe at the back of the hall or somewhere outside the hall, whereby you can be able to exhibit your products. So feel free to carry your products as long as you are able or they are allowed to pass through the customs and immigration. Thank you. Back to you,
Good.
Samuel.
Yeah, thank you, Victor. Charles, I hope that is okay.
Yeah, it's very fine, Samuel. Thank you, Victor.
Yeah, thank you so much. Yeah, curious to hear what the rest think, and will allow me a look at my screen and point out in case I don't see anyone. Yeah. Question, feedback? I'm not sure what silence means. Huh? Yeah, because this is for you. Let me see what people think. Stanley, curious to hear what you think about the program.
Yeah, sure. Samuel, I'm quite excited about the program. Seems like a packed program as well, which I'm very much excited about that as well because of the learning. In business, like every day is just an opportunity to know more. So I'm really excited about that. The Friday one about going for the field visit, really, that's practical. So really loving that as well, and excited to share the story as well. Yeah.
Good. Thank you so much, Stanley. Jean Pierre.
Hello.
Hello. Yes, we can hear you.
Thank you very much for a very good presentation and clearing our worries that we had before. So I was wondering for many things, but you have cleared it. I'm very excited to meet my fellow entrepreneurs, to also network, learn from each other, and also to collaborate in the future. So I'm also excited about meeting different other knowledgeable people, experts in this area, and also to learn and connect with them. And also to arrive in Ghana, it will be my first time to be in Ghana. I have so many friends there. So it will be also a very exciting moment. Yeah.
Wow, that's good. Yeah, thanks so much. Curious to hear from Lawrence Ofere. Your reaction to what I shared, but also feel free to let us know what is that topic that you can't wait to get to that class. Lawrence, and then we can go to Sanorovelo.
I think from
Sorry, Lawrence.
Hello.
Hello. Yes, we can hear you.
Okay. The agenda you shared shows that forward to Ghana.
Is it only me or are we missing Lawrence? Can somebody hear me? Lawrence, maybe.
Yes, Samuel, we can hear you.
Lawrence, maybe you could come again. Sorry, I was missing you.
Hello?
Yes, go ahead.
Yeah, so I was
Sorry, Lawrence, we can't hear you. Feel free to come back. In the meantime, let me invite Sano Rovero, and I hope I'm pronouncing your name correctly.
Oui, vous m'entendez là? Vous m'entendez?
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes, we can hear you very well.
Je peux parler? Ah, d'accord. En fait, je voudrais
So I would like to talk about Mr. Samuel's program. He said that on Friday afternoon, after the field visit, we'll have time to do a little shopping. Are we going to have a guide or someone who will go with us, or we ourselves we have to go looking for the people who can guide us through the market? That's my question.
Okay, thanks so much, Sano Rovelo. Yeah, we not promised that we'll get you guides. I think what has worked in the past is people have created friends and together you just maneuver. Good thing is that we are going to have one of us, I don't know whether she's here, from Ghana. She could help, but also we plan to bring an additional like 4 Land Accelerator alumni there to also be part of the event. So I've seen them actually support people. But it's Africa, we can maneuver. We'll find a way to speak their language. We'll go to that market.
Right.
Yeah.
Merci. Merci bien. Thank you very much.
Good. Thank you so much. Yeah, curious to hear from the rest. Mayenga Shinja. Yeah. You're far from your mic, Mayenga. Come closer to your mic. Sorry, can people hear Mayenga?
No.
Yeah, Mayenga, you may want to be close to your mic.
What I'm saying is, thank you for sharing the program. But for me, I wish it would be good if we have 2 days for every visit.
Okay, I don't know whether we.
Hello?
Hello, you are very far from your microphone.
I'm very close to it.
Okay, we don't know why it's coming. Are you saying that you'd like to have 2 days of field visit, or did I get it wrong?
Yes, something like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thanks. I will give perhaps Celestine or Victor to respond on that, whether that one is possible. But I see a hand from Sonorovero. She's back. Yeah. So curious to hear from you.
Oui, je suis désolée de vous revenir un petit peu.
Apologies for coming back. I'm a little bit inquisitive on how we are going to present our pitch on October 17th. Will there be many questions about the training? Will they ask us questions about the training that held from Monday to Wednesday? Or are we going to have so are they going to ask us questions? Then is it that pitch session, is it that they're going to ask us questions about the training and everything, or how is it going to work?
Mercy. Good. Maybe we could start with Mayenga question. Celestine, I don't know whether you want to respond about the possibility of 2-day field visit.
I'm sorry, I did not get the question from Mayenga. So
Okay.
Victor got it, can help me and respond.
Victor, do you want
Yes.
to?
Yes, yes, Samuel. Mayenga, I get your question and I get your points. However, as Samuel presented, the agenda is quite packed. But what we can do is that on the day that we have a field visit, we can try and see if we can be able to visit a couple of enterprises, maybe 2 enterprises. But that, of course, is going to also depend on the kind of distance between the enterprises or the field visits locations that you're going to be having. But we'll try to make sure that you are covered and you're able to get as much as possible from the field visits. So no need to worry, but it's going to be 1 day. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks, Victor. And in any case, we'll be bringing successful enterprises and projects as well. Yeah, we would love to be in the field, but unfortunately, it's not possible. Thanks, Mayenga, for that question. Sonoroveno, for your question on how we are going to go about the pitch. No, they will not ask you questions of what you learned. They will only ask you questions perhaps about your business, the business model, just like what has been going on with the mentorship. Remember, we are bringing investors and we are also bringing ecosystem partners in Ghana. So no worry. Don't even worry about what's going to happen on that day. On Monday, we will definitely make sure that you get it. Charles?
Yes, thank you, Samuel, once again. My concern is on presentation. I hope you can hear me.
Yes, now we can hear you.
Yes, my concern is on the presentation. I did hear you mention that someone has to come up with a life story so that it can cover up his business model. And initially, it is the pitch deck slide that guides us. I don't know how that shall be done so that one is able to portray vividly what that is. Thank you. That's my concern.
Good. Thanks so much, Charles. And I'm sure it's a concern of many. Yeah, so Looney has taught this session for so many years and it tends to work. Remember, we said investors will not remember your name. If you go and you said, my name is Samuel Kabiru, they'll be looking at the traction bit. But even we say that people relate very well with human story. So we are coming up with a human story so that even as you leave the stage, people will actually remember. Like now, I remember a story that was given in 2021. By then I was very new in WRI. I think I was 2 or 3 months old. And this lady came on stage, and she said, imagine a young lady leaving UN job to go and work with poor farmers somewhere in Africa. And she posts, and she asked people, can you actually imagine? Do that? And everybody who started like murmuring and saying no, she went ahead and said, this is a true story of me. I left UN job to go and work with macadamia farmers. And then she went ahead to be able to introduce what she actually does, saying that her company works with 9,000 smallholder farmers. Her revenue has grown from 50,000 in 2018. To date, we are actually doing more than $2 million. We are here raising this amount of money, and we invite you. Something like that, very simple. Another story I remember last year was this, was it last year or last year, but one, about this bamboo company in the guy came on stage holding a bamboo. And when he was there, he said, bamboo, bamboo, bamboo. And he posts. When everybody thought that he's going to introduce his company next, he repeated the same bamboo, bamboo, bamboo. And he posts. And when everybody thought that now he's ready to introduce himself, he went ahead, bamboo, bamboo, bamboo. He did that a couple of times to a point it became like a song, bamboo, bamboo, bamboo. And I think in one of the session when he was sharing during the peer-to-peer, you could hear me talk about the bamboo man, bamboo, bamboo, bamboo. So that way it was able to attract attention from the crowd. People were able to listen, and he went ahead to actually share about this amazing work that he's actually doing. If somebody left that place, he could still remember the bamboo man. And even when they reach out to us, they say, can I talk to the bamboo man? They don't tell us, can I talk to X company? So that's kind of like what will happen, but you don't have to worry. We will be able to practice this together. And I hope even as I'm sharing, you can see how easy or hard it can be, but it's going to be fun. Perfect. I see we have a few minutes left. Curious to hear, at least by now I haven't had somebody say perhaps we want something else in terms of topic. Those topics perhaps do not resonate with me, but curious to hear from the rest. And I'm looking at, let me see. Who hasn't been able to speak? Manriho, I don't know whether you are here, and then we could hear from Millicent. In the meantime, Victor, maybe you'll come and share with us what is going to happen on 10th October. Manriho?
Yes. Yeah, good evening all. I hope you can hear me.
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, thank you. So about my concern, I have seen the agenda is good and it will be good, but as it has been seen, it will be an intense week, but very important for us, like we entrepreneurs. So I know we'll be running a lot of things which are good for us, which can enhance our companies. So let me have this opportunity for asking about the dressing code, because you talked about dressing code while I was with poor internet. I didn't catch you well. So if possible, you can highlight a bit about the dressing code. And yeah, I think that's it.
Good. Thanks so much, Manriho. Yeah, so we'll get back. Victor, maybe you could assist me with that one. Millicent, and then we can have either Caro or Lucy. Millicent? Millicent Lemusa, you're on mute if you're speaking.
Sorry, I'm on the road driving. Let me just get somewhere, then I'll respond later on. Kindly.
Okay, no problem. Caroline or Lucy Mwangi?
Okay, hi Samuel. I hope
Hi.
you can hear me.
Yes, very well.
Yeah, I'm in Kajiado at the field. So, but I've been able to follow the program. It is very intense, which is quite interesting because isn't it the normal lives that we live as entrepreneurs? So it's very interesting just that it's happening in Ghana. And also there's a lot of learning that is exciting. For me, my first time in Ghana, so that's nice. Friday looks interesting. Thursday is intense. Maybe you can also share the kind of investors we're expecting. Some of us work very well under pressure. So it will be good to raise the intensity if it's possible. And also, yeah, there is some fun time on Friday. So it will be good to bring back some kitenge. Maybe you might call us for Orasho. Who knows? Thank you.
Yeah, thanks so much, Caroline. And for those who do not know what Russia is, it's a dowry negotiation event. So that's what she's saying. Those vitenge, the linen from Ghana. Yeah, thanks so much, Caroline. Yeah, certainly important to speak about the investors as well. Maybe we could take one more and then I can invite Victor to respond. Yeah, so is it Joseph? Joseph, maybe you could speak.
Yes, I'm here. Understandable?
Yes, we can hear you.
Nice. Really, I really appreciate today's session. It's a wonderful session where we learn many things. Moreover, I'm still having the question about traveling by the truck. My question is concerning the passport. Until now, I still don't receive my passport, but I believe that at the end of this week, I will be having it. So, what can I do in order to book up my travel?
Good questions right there. Just checking whether I gave everybody an opportunity to speak. Yeah, so Lawrence, I don't know whether you're able to speak. I will have Victor address the dress code and also the travel, and hopefully the investors. If not, I can also jump in there. But Lawrence, and then we can have Joanne as well, and then we finalize. Lawrence, are you still here? Okay. Joanne? Joanne Kinyanjui. Okay, not
Hello?
sure whether Joanne. Yes, we can hear you now, Joanne.
Yes, the program is well packed. I'm very excited. I see my friend Kelenya will be coming. I hope we can finish the conversation we had at the GRV level about investors and checking your financials and being able to interpret them and knowing what you need and how much you can be able to get or in terms of funding, both debt and equity. I'm excited to meet everyone and create long-term relationships and partnerships and to have fun in Ghana. So yeah, thank you.
Good. Thank you. Victor, maybe I could invite you to respond to the dress code, the travel for Joseph. And if you have anything to do with the investor, feel free to share. You're on mute, Victor.
Yes, thank you, Samuel. Maybe I can begin with the dress code question. And again, on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, these are going to be normal days whereby we are going to have our training sessions, our one-on-one and mentorship sessions. And during these sessions, what we're saying is that you can be able to come with business casual The idea is for you to be able to be professional, but also comfortable as well. So feel free to come dressed in business casual clothes. Again, for Thursday, for half of the day, also we are going to be having again, training sessions as well. You can dress in business casual, but during pitching, you can we advocate for you to actually dress in professional business clothes. Or if not, then you can be able to come with your branded clothing. The idea is for you to be able to feel good, and also dress appropriately in a manner that you think can be able to attract investors to your business. And then for Friday, then will be our day whereby we'll be going for a field visit. So again, carry very comfortable clothes, shoes, and clothing that you can be able to feel comfortable in while in the field when outdoors. And also, as Samuel said, if you want to have fun, of course, the beach is not very far, so you can carry some beach wear if you want to, for if you go to the beach. Or I also saw a swimming pool in the picture that was presented, so you can as well carry some swimming clothes, but also clothes that you can be able maybe to go without if you are the person who would like to go out and enjoy the life in Ghana. So that's about the dressing code. I hope I've been able to address that. In terms of your question, Joseph, I believe you're coming from DRC, and the DRC is one of the countries that require a visa for you to get into Ghana. So in terms of once you get your passport, the thing is for you to be able to notify us immediately, so that then you can begin your process of gaining a visa. But in terms of booking your flight, that will not be a problem. That can happen even in 2 days. But my advice is, as soon as you get your passport, just let us know, and then we can begin the process of getting your visa, and also for us booking your flight. Otherwise, that is not a problem. Then the question on investors, if maybe I could just touch a bit on it, is that you are currently, trying to come up with, seeing the investors that are going to be with us. And we are currently doing that. And once we are able to populate the list, it's a working list, then maybe these are some of the names that we can be able to share with you. But of course, then ideally is that once we get to Ghana, I think we can be able to have a good picture of, or have an expectation of who will be with us and who will not be with us. So maybe these can be communicated later by us. Thank you. I hope I've answered all questions, Samuel. In case I've forgotten any, maybe.
No, you have, and maybe in addition to the investors, we have been able to profile investors over the years, and we have a huge database of investors. We are looking at more than 100 plus. Not all of them will actually join the demo day. We have seen a few join. But one thing I'm sure is all those 100 will actually see your profiles, because during the invitation, we normally share profiles. And we have seen from there some of them reaching out to us saying, I would like to be introduced to this company for a conversation. The other thing I am sure is we are going to have development partners. We are going to have FAO. We are going to have JZ. We are going to have UN organization. I'm just from meeting one now, and they're interested. During the physical event, we are going to have regional donor, that is USAID, who is interested to see us. High chances we could have a few DFIs. There is one that is interested to join through our partner, Luni. They'll be doing some due diligence for some investment they want to make with them. And in turn, they always come to us. So we are likely going to get that, but also we are working with the Ghana team to see that we populate a list of partners and investors, and it's going to be a fun interaction. So if you know of an investor you'd like them to join, feel free to share that with us, either Victor, Celestine, Fabiano, or myself, and certainly we are actually going to invite them. So anyway, we are trying all our best to make sure that we have good investors. Anyway, I see time is up. Thank you so much. In case you do have any question regarding the travel, any question regarding the program, any question regarding the details that we have been able to share here, feel free to reach out to us. I know you do have your internal mentor. Also feel free to connect with them. Forgive them in case they have delayed contacting you. It's a busy time, as you can see, putting all this together and making sure that we have a fruitful event in 2 weeks' time. Otherwise, thank you so much. But before we drop, there is the aspect of mentorship that is going on. You did actually receive a communication from Celestine. You need to select which mentors you want to connect with. We have provided profile, and I think feel free to communicate with Celestine so that you are linked to the right mentors as well. The other note is on 10th. I want to believe is next Thursday. We are opening up that session to top 100 for them to meet you for the first time. And we are actually going to have a mock demo day. This is where you get to pitch your company, integrating everything that you have learned from the mentors. And this one might take 3 to 5 minutes. We are going to share details about that. So expect to see a bigger group than usual. But I'm sure this is just to prepare you to pitch for the demo day. So this one will be more you using your slides, and then we're actually going to provide comments. Otherwise, thank you. Looking forward to tomorrow's call. For those who will be pitching, I'm sure you know yourself. Otherwise, thank you. Have a good day. Have a lovely evening.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye, Samuel.
Okay, thank you.
Au revoir.
Bye bye.